Felger is at appointing Sean McVay as the number one coach right now in the NFL, and I think Mike might be onto something there in terms of just what he's built around the league. His former assistants are making noise, building great programs, and McVay gets himself a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not. I could separate sort of. Give me Bill Belichick as a game coach against McVay anytime, and I'll take Belichick. But there's no question that I think you look at how McVay and this goes back to Mike Shanahan and more importantly Kyle Shanahan, who's also done okay for himself. These guys were really all Kyle Shanahan guys in Washington. That's where it started. And you just look at the way they have set things up from, basically they handpick their own personnel guys. Shanahan has Lynch in San Francisco. McVay has Les Snead in LA, and they sort of, form a partnership. And, just in terms of, I think their system, the offensive system, the way they're able to replicate it. And, look, this was the culmination of it. There's Sean McVay and former McVay assistant Zach Taylor going head to head against each other. We have yet to see Bill Belichick come even close to facing off against one of his proteges in a Super Bowl. And, McVay gets his Super Bowl title. I think that, I think the foundation is the offense that I think is simple. It's simple and effective. It's able to, you're able to transfer it from player to player. I mean, you look at, just year one, Matthew Stafford comes from, being in Detroit. He comes here and he wins a Super Bowl. I mean, that's basically unheard of for a quarterback in his first season in a system,
right, to
win a Super Bowl title.
Two straight
I
years.
think that
Brady did it in Tampa.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's the power of, to me, it's Brady, the power of Brady in Tampa and also the talent around him.
No, but real quick, but to your point, we could just say, well, Brady's Brady, right? How Brady played in Tampa. Stafford validates what you're getting at. So I know what you mean.
Yeah. I appreciate that assist. So, I think that, you also look at, guys like Odell Beckham come in halfway through the season and they're, dominating in the postseason. You look at the Patriots, you just compare like systems. The offensive system, we've seen people struggle. Cam Newton struggled with it his first year. So did countless receivers. Ocho Cinco, Joey Galloway, Mohamed Sanu, is basically the equivalent of Odell Beckham, and
N'Keal Harry.
Sanu was, half a season rental, gave up a second round pick, paid him a buttload of money for nothing. And, you look at the assistants and what they've gone on to do. Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur is the, Jets offensive coordinator. You have more guys coming down the line. Mike McDaniel in Miami, Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. All these guys are proliferating around the league and they're doing well. And, not to say I think Josh McDaniels is going to do well, but that's his second time around. Right. So I think in many ways you look at it, and I'm not here to tell you that I do not believe that Sean McVay is a better coach than Bill Belichick. And I don't think that Rams team was a great team by any stretch, even if they were fully healthy. But I think what they've done to this point, to me, has been very impressive. And, if you're an NFL owner, you can understand why they're hiring all these Shanahan McVay guys, because they've basically all been successful, especially the guys on the offensive side of the ball. And, Belichick's sort of the OG, the original. But I think now, and look, me saying this about McVay isn't any sort of slight to Belichick and what the Patriots have done. And I'm sure people will be like, well, they have won 6 or, if you want to count Brady, 7 Super Bowls. So, what are you talking about? This is not a no contest. Look, that was a long time ago. And, there's no question that the pairing of Belichick and Brady was historic. But they're never going to be able to do that again. Nobody's ever going to be able to do that again. But in the realm of the whole rest of the NFL, what McVay's doing, that's obviously the way to go, and the way things are working right now in the NFL.
Yep. If there's one thing that McVay can say that Bill, it's still early, I suppose, but so far, assistants of the McVay Shanahan tree are working, and that might just be because the league is changing too. To be fair to Bill,
And they're
the league's changing.
and they're younger.
Yep.
I think that's a bonus. I mean, because these players, the players
The
that
league
are
is
coming into
younger
the league now,
altogether.
yeah. I mean, these are not the same players that came in the early 2000s to the league, who played 4 years of college and all this stuff. And there was no social media and, what have you. And, they didn't really, comparatively, they didn't make a ton of money compared to, what these guys are making. And I think you can make the argument, not that I'm saying that like you need to have a younger coach to relate and things like that. I don't believe that, but I do think that the way McVay has handled his players, you look at, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, Odell Beckham, you're talking about not so much Miller, but Ramsey and Beckham are coach killers. They've been coach killers, in every place else, yet it's able to work, and McVay's able to find out a way to do it without restricting what they say to the media or, do your job and every day is trudging into the building sort of thing. They have shown that there's a different way to do it. I think it appeals to the players around the league. And I think, I think the Patriots have been caught a little bit shorthanded there.